funky beat. Sun is shining, Rachel brings the heat. Wake up CEO, we're on repeat. Chicago, Sun Up City on the go. Rachel L. Gary on the radio. Tune in quick, hear the power flow. Wake up CEO, it's your daily show. Wake up, start the day with CEO. Rachel's got the vibe, that's the real deal. CEO, it's time to feel the thrill. Morning grind, press play and chill. From the Windy City, bringing major vibes. Rachel on the mic, keeping lives revived.
Hey there, it's your host, Rachel L. Gary from Wake Up CEO. Join me June 15th, right here in Chicago, for my book launch immersive event. Hashtag poverty to six figures, breaking the chains to gain. Get your tickets today at sayiampossible.com. See you there.
Oh, rise and sway. Wake up, start the day with zeal. Rachel's got the vibe, that's the real deal. CEO, it's time to feel the thrill. Morning grind, press play and chill. Wake up, start the day with zeal. Hey, Rachel's got the vibe, that's the real deal. CEO, it's time to feel the thrill. Morning grind, press play and chill.
This is Dr. Carolyn Stevens, the CEO of the BHC Media Group. And when you are looking for a strategy for self-leadership, get aligned with Wake Up CEO with host Rachel L. Gary every Wednesday from 3 to 5 p.m.
You know what time it is? Every Wednesday, 3 to 5, my Radio Chicago, Rachel L. Gary in the building. Wake up, CEO, let's go. Wake up, go Sam, set that tone. Wake up, every step you take, you claim that throne. Wake up, no more doubt, no time to stall. Wake up, boss up now, go get it all. Wake up, stay locked in, make it happen. Wake up, stay locked in. Wake up, stay locked in, make it happen. Wake up, stay locked in. Wake up. I ain't waiting, now I go and take it. Built this from the ground, no way they break it. Consistency, my secret, watch me make it. Got that boss talk, now I ain't faking no. Look, set the goal, now I'm grabbing the goal. You put in the work, now I'm taking control. The vision so clear, yeah, I already know. Every step I take, I'm ready to blow. Wake up, set that tone. Every step you take, you claim that throne. No more doubt, no time to stall. You boss up now, go get it all. Let's go, stay locked in, make it happen. Make it happen. Let's go, stay locked in, make it happen. Make it happen. No handouts, yeah, I made my way. Built my brand, now I paid my lane. Turn my losses into lessons. Now my grind got no recession. Yeah, they talk about chance, but I make my own. Yeah, I ain't waiting for fate, got a future to own. Yeah, every step back, just part of the game, gay game. But now I'm up and they know my name. Wake up, stay locked in, make it happen. Wake up, stay locked in, make it happen. Wake up, stay locked in, make it happen. Wake up, stay locked in. Wake up. Success so sexy, put the work in flexi. Late nights, no rest, but now my vision's hefty. They doubted, they laughed, now they watch from the back. Cause I turned every dream into bricks that stack. Wake up, stay locked in, make it happen. Wake up, stay locked in, make it happen. Wake up, stay locked in, make it happen. Wake up, stay locked in, go get it all. Every Wednesday, 3 to 5, my Radio Chicago. Rachel L. Gary taking you to the top. Boss up, boss you, boss up now, go get it all. Yeah, every Wednesday, 3 to 5, my Radio Chicago. Chicago. Rachel L. Gary taking you to the top. Boss up.
Power-packed wake-up call to step into your full potential. Guys, you know my mission is simple: to speak candid truth to empower your inner CEO. The one that is clear in your actions, empowered by your choices, and owning your direction. And you know what we're going to talk about today? We are talking about how to fire up without burning out. Hey. I want you guys to stay tuned for the power statement of the day. The Author's Corner that is brought to you by Distinguished Authors Guild, where literary excellence is rewarded. Today, we're going to have a special guest, Queen Angela Thomas Smith. And I want you guys to stay locked in for that leadership 3-point play that is powered by Say I'm Possible Academy, where self-leadership gets GPS. And you guys know what we do on Wake Up CEO. We dive right in. So the power statement of the day is: you didn't make it if you left the hood behind. You make it when you lift it up. So that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to dive into how to be fired up, but not burn out. And the theme is for all my go-getters out there. All of my hustlers, my high performers, the dream chasers that are out there. And let's be honest, we be tired doing all this running around. But hear me, you're not tired because you're doing too much. You're tired because you're doing too much of the wrong things at the wrong time. And as you know, guys, as we said, I am candid here on Wake Up CEO. And when I'm talking to you guys, I'm talking with you guys. I'm just reminding you of things that I know and things that I've either have gone through, gone past, and are moving closer to perfecting. That's what we're going to talk about on Wake Up CEO. And so the question of the day is: what situation do you have in your life that is taking up too much of your energy? If you guys are watching me live on Facebook or YouTube, drop it in the chats of what situation do you have in your life that is taking up too much energy? Because that is the things that we're going to be talking about today. So we're going to cut the myth that hustle means struggle. We're not going to say that because I'm hustling, I have to struggle. You know, if you guys are new to watching or listening to Wake Up CEO, when I pause, that's for the opportunity for you to take it in and think to yourself, whenever you hear the word hustle, do you think that you're struggling against something? So let's get fired up without being burned out. And we're gonna start with what do we do on Wake Up CEO? We start with being clear. When we are clear, then we can move forward in a better direction. With clarity, you're able to do more, be more, and have more. If you're not clear, it's very difficult to do more, be more, and have more. So we want to make sure that we stay focused on the things that are going to allow us to first be clear. So we're going to start with burnout isn't a badge. It's not a badge of honor to be burned out. Discipline is. We're usually burned out, because I've been in a situation of when I was burned out. I was working 16-hour days. I was getting 2 to 3 hours sleep. I was doing two or three people's jobs, all at a company at the point in time, because the managers that were underneath me, I was in transition of starting new leadership. And during that time, I was so frazzled. Every little thing upset me, because when you don't take care of yourself, remember, that's what we hear CEOs, we're going to talk about, that self-care. But when you're not taking care of yourself, everyone around you is affected. They're affected by your actions. They're affected by your mood. Do you know how crabby I was during that time? Guys, let's just speak on it. I was extremely crabby. I was coming home after the 16 hours. Hour drive there, hour drive back. That's 18 hours. Then I come in, I take a shower. We had 19 hours. I finally lay down. I'm at 20 hours. I'm resting my head. The phone rings at 1, 2 o'clock in the morning because the next shift of drivers are starting. And because I don't have leadership in that role, I am that manager. So during that time, every little thing was upsetting me. And that is how I knew I was burned out. Guys, I am the most happy-go-luckiest person I know. What you guys hear on Wake Up CEO, and if you ever see me on other podcasts, you ever see me in the street, or we're ever having a conversation, I am always a ball of energy. And as I noticed that things were not going right, they weren't going right because I wasn't living in my true, authentic self. I had allowed a situation to change what I was doing and how I was doing it. But that goes to I wasn't disciplined. Now, even though I had leadership that wasn't there in those roles, I hadn't empowered someone else to assist. So that was the discipline part that I hadn't done. So when you're always tired or always behind or always stretched, when you feel that you're stretched to I can't take on anything else, it's not drive. That's disorder. That means your life isn't in order. And I know somebody's going to say, well, I just got a lot of things going on. I'm going to tell you the one thing you don't have going on. We don't have discipline. We don't have structure. And we're not moving forward properly. And when you're clear with that, and you are really able to say, I'm not working in my circle of genius because I'm doing a whole lot. When I have too much going on, I can't do the one thing that I can do the best. So we got Bruce chiming in saying, let's go, CEOs. We got Amina chiming in. Thank you, Miss Mina. This is Miss Mina, the Brown Diva. She comes on Tuesday, same time on the afternoon rendezvous right here on right here on My Radio Chicago. Same time, 3 to 5 on Tuesdays. Check her out. And she's also she's also the queen of media. And right now, her and her team are assisting me with getting the word out here for breaking for hashtag poverty to six figures, breaking the chain to gain. So I thank you for your support and assistance. And her and I have had a very similar conversation that I'm having with you guys today about being burned out and when you're doing too much. And a lot of times you don't know that you're doing too much until all of your house of cards is falling down. So I want you to chime in and let me know what you think about that. Have you ever noticed that you are easily upset, that things are not going well, that people are coming to you saying you forgot things? That usually means that you have too much going on. And when you have too much going on, it makes it difficult for you to be your best at any of those things. Let that sink in. Let that sink in, CEOs. Because remember, this is the clarity piece. Because once you get clear that you are doing team too much, once you are clear with that, then we can fix. You can't fix something that you are not willing to own. If you don't say that, yes, I'm doing too much, that means you're never going to put something in place that helps you grow. So you might have 20 things on your plate, but without organization and discipline, those 20 things are going awry. How do you fix that if you don't admit that they are going awry? If you have five, we'll say business owners. This is not just for people who have jobs and people who have families, business owners. If your business, and I'm gonna speak on my business in a few seconds about it. If your business is not flourishing, it usually means that you are not in line with what your business can offer. And you're not focused on those offerings. If you are the marketer, which is why I asked for assistance for promotion. We have Sharice Sloan out there. That's the promoter of the year. She's out there doing promotion for me. She was promoting me before I was even promoting me. So I would say when you notice that you're promoting you, and I'm just using this for your business, for businesses. If you are marketing your business, so if you're the one up late nights creating the posts, creating the marketing materials, creating your retractables, doing all the creation, what your business is. So if your business is not marketing, but that's what you're doing a lot of, you're not focused on the things that are going to grow your business. Your business can't grow with you being the one who creates these graphic designs. Now, this book cover here, you guys see, I mean, I love my book cover. I get so many compliments on the book cover. Now, the book cover was let me tell you my part of it. I thought of it and I gave it over to my graphic designer. Now, the graphic designer came back. We had several mock-ups. I chimed in, okay, I don't like this. Okay, and we put this in. Then I got a second opinion, then a third opinion. My wife is considered the critic. She's critic number one. She looks at all of our any mock-ups that we have, and she gives her opinion because she's not part of the creative process. And my wife is very straight. She's very straightforward. So she's going to tell you like it is. You're not going to hear it through the grapevine. You're going to hear it straight. No chaser. So when she looked at it, she says, okay, I like this. I like that. I don't like this. The second book, #Poverty to Six Figures. We did the same thing. Creative. My creation was that I wanted to look like this. This is what I'm thinking. What it looked like, I hadn't grasped that until we started seeing pieces put together. But I didn't put those pieces together because my circle of genius is what's in the book. So when I open this book up and I turn through these pages, this is Rachel L. Gary's Circle of Genius. So that's Rachel L. Gary's Circle of Genius in those pages. Creating a cover for the book, that's not in my Circle of Genius. And my Circle of Geniuses was making sure that I approve the cover, but I don't create the cover. That allowed me not to be burned out with the creation of the book. So a lot of times we think self-discipline is a punishment. When you hear the word discipline, you automatically think you have to do something. You have to be this way and you have to do certain things. Self-discipline isn't a punishment. It's a protection for your purpose and your needs. Now, as I was telling that story about that book creation, I could have. Now, I am a very creative person, guys. I could have sat down and played with the book cover for hours on end. Got lost in the fine details because, when you're doing it, you're looking for this perfect symbol, this perfect moment, this perfect thing that is going to be. So you sit there and you critique every little thing that you're doing with it. So you spend 10 to 12 hours. Now, the graphic designer spent a couple of hours with it. He spent more hours on the things that I wanted to take out and I wanted to add than him creating the original product. But that's his circle of genius. So you see what I'm saying? That with the discipline of myself, So the self-discipline of knowing that, yes, I'm creative and I could have created it. Canva is out there, guys. We're all aware that Canva exists. We're all aware that AI exists. We're all aware of those things. But if you're the one putting the inputs in AI, I'm going to get you guys with this one. If you're the one putting the prompts in AI and getting the prompts out and retweaking those prompts and prompting them again, if you're the one that now creating all those designs or you're creating your content, is that the business you're in? If you're in the business of creating content, then you are in your circle of genius. But if your business is banking, if your business is taxes, if your business is cleaners, if your business is cars, if your business is Airbnb, and you are spending your time putting in the prompts, your circle of genius of the prompts isn't what builds your business. Take a second and think about it. Because if you're putting in prompts, let's use Airbnb. I have an Airbnb. So as a host of an Airbnb, if I am spending time putting in the prompts to have this perfectly laid out ad, but the place isn't fixed correctly, the guests are complaining about debris, the guests are complaining about X, Y, and Z, because I'm putting in the prompts, making the perfect ad to get the people in, but I'm not putting in my circle of genius. I'm making sure they have the best experience. Because as an Airbnb host, your job is to give top-notch experience to an individual who comes to your place. That is what makes your business great. Exceptional is when someone comes into your place and the pictures they don't even compliment as much as when you walk in. And there's refreshments. Then there is a note. And then there's a brochure about what's going on in the area. Then you've already partnered with businesses in the area and given them discounts. If they call this takeout place, if they call that takeout place, you've given them the best of the places that are in there. As an Airbnb host, that is your circle of genius. If you're doing Turo, and you have your cars on Turo, I'm talking about businesses that right now that people are jumping in. So you got your car on Turo. Okay, you use the prompts. You got the prompts. You done got the pictures. The pictures look all nice, and then people get your car. The car's not being cleaned. You are not doing regular maintenance on the car, so the car breaks down on someone. So all of the ads that you spent time doing that was not your circle of genius, utilizing AI, Canva, and all of those self-help tools, because they all exist. I use Canva myself. I use some of those AI prompts. There's so many AI tools out there. Now, I'm not saying that those tools are not very useful, and I'm not saying that they're not necessary. What I'm saying is that for your circle of genius, you need to figure out what your circle of genius is and do that very well. And that's about being self-disciplined. And that's how you don't get burned out. Because what are we talking about today? How to fire up and not be burned out. So how to be fired up is moving in your circle of what you do best. What you do best is how you stay fired up. And how you get burned out is by taking on the little tasks that make your circle of genius work. So it goes to like when you drive a car. When you drive a car, the battery, the alternator, the starter, the tires, all of those things allow your vehicle to work. But if you are the one manufacturing the tires, if you're the one who's maintaining the alternator, the starter, or the battery, then you're not driving. Because you're so busy preparing it to do what you want it to do. Take that a step back. How does your business become successful if you're working so much in the business as opposed to on the business. So that's why we're talking about getting that self-discipline in. It's not a punishment. It's a necessity for it to grow, for a business to grow, for your career to grow, for your life to be the way you want it. As long as you're haphazardly letting everything just blow, the wind blow you in any direction, things happen to you haphazardly. And we don't want haphazard things happening. We're looking for that clarity so we can move to the best version of our lives. And I know the best version of my life is not to be out there messing with the tires, the alternator, the starter, or the battery. I want to drive, which means if I want to drive in my business, I need to make sure that I put the tools that are necessary for my business to run so I can work on my business, not in my business. Today, I'm working on my business. My business is to do leadership coaching and development. Today, I am having a conversation with the CEOs, that's you, about leadership and development within your lives. So I'm working on my business right now, not in my business. So in my business right now, I have my VA who's assisting me working in my business. And I'm not saying, I say that I appreciate him and his unique skills. And we do a trade-off for a lot of the things that we do. And that's what we have to do at the end of the day to find that success. How you get there, how you find that success. So schedules don't restrict you. So we're gonna break this down. Discipline is if you're always tired. So we talked about being always behind. So schedules don't restrict you. A real CEO knows time blocking is freedom. And we're gonna dive into what I mean by time blocking. Time blocking is this. So for myself, between 6 a.m. and 9 a.m., that is my creative time. So at between 6 a.m. and 9 a.m., that's when I'm the most creative. When I first wake up in the morning and get myself situated, that I am the most creative first thing in the morning. I do all of my important work between 6 a.m. and 9 a.m. How did I figure that out? Because I mapped out my day, a 24-hour day, and I noticed when I had ideas, when I was really motivated, I was like, okay, I was running on all cylinders. I didn't feel fatigued. I was just super energized. I noticed what part of the day when I feel less energized. So I put time blocks between 6 a.m. and 9 a.m. That is my time to do my business. I set my business up. I make all my major phone calls. I send all my major texts. I send all my major emails between 6 and 9 every day. Because when I try to do it, when I'm done with my day at 6 p.m. to 9 p.m., it takes me longer. Because during that time, I'm tired. I'm getting fatigued. I'm winding down. I don't do any podcasts after 8 p.m. because I know that usually between about 8 p.m., I'm getting sleepy. And if I'm getting sleepy, which means I'm not going to have the energy, which means I'm not bringing my best version of myself to someone's podcast or someone's platform. When I sign up to be on someone's platform, I'm bringing the best Rachel L. Gary to that platform. And if I'm bringing the best Rachel L. Gary to that platform, then that means that every single time I have to be ready. That's about when you're doing time blocking, because you're working in your time, in your best version of yourself. And then you're blocking off time for yourself, which I do daily. So after 2 p.m., that's after I talk to my wife. After her lunch period, between 2 and 4 is usually my times when I'm thinking, writing down notes. I might talk to my graphic designer. Him and I are discussing something that involves my notes. Because At that point in time, I've had lunch. I'm energized again. Then I take a half an hour to an hour where I don't do anything in the middle of the day. So I take a 15-minute moment to meditate and relax. I do it every day because that allows me to be in my circle of genius. But if you don't learn this about yourself, you start overworking yourself. So we got people in the chat. I don't want to make sure we got everyone in there. We got my wife Beautiful out there saying, hello, CEOs. And we have send your clean music, all of your clean music, clean videos to we're going to go to wakeupceo@gmail.com. So go to wakeupceo@gmail.com and drop your clean music as well as any motivational videos that you guys have. I'm always looking to bring an inspiring artist to the platform. So go ahead and dive in and make sure that you go to that's wakeupceoradio@gmail.com. And we have in the chat as well, June 15th. Hey guys, you know it is a movement. We're not just talking about a book launch. Wait a minute. What am I even doing here? We have our great people here for those things. I don't even know how I even got involved with doing a conversation or a commercial. What?
From the author of Forged in Fire, From Ashes to Empowerment, Rachel L. Gary presents Part 2 of the Epic Collection. #Poverty to Six Figures. Join us for the release party in Chicago on June 15th. Enjoy a signed copy, champagne toast, live entertainment, and much more. Don't miss this celebration of transformation. Get your tickets today at SayI'mPossible.com. That is SayI'mPossible.com. See you there. Are you ready?
All right. We had to let that commercial do its thing. It makes no sense to waste breath if you have some breath already put in. So that goes again one more time to what was I saying? That you have to make sure that you set yourself up for success. That was recorded and created one time. My graphic designer created it and put it all out there. If you guys looking for the link, if you're watching this live, the link is in the bio on Facebook. You can go to, and if you're not, you can go to www.sayI'mPossible.com and get in the room. We're going to have a magnificent time talking about great things that find success. I'm going to have great guests. I just locked in a guest last week. I have a couple of more people who are going to be locked in to give us information that is going to allow us to find success because I'm giving a roadmap, and on that roadmap, there's some dollars that are going to be needed. So I'm going to make sure that we put some dollars in the room that you guys are being able to get. So we're going to talk about how $10,000 can be $1 million, how from $7 to $1 million. We're going to talk about how to get there in that room. And I just made mention when I was on the morning jump off with Shy Blizz that $10,000, that's all I need to get started. So if I had to do it all over, 10 grand, maybe I could be able to do it all over again with $10,000 as seed money. And I'm going to be talking about just how we do that in that room. But the only reason I am able to do those things is because I've learned how to be fired up without being burned out. So I want to make sure that we understand that. I mean, while we're being clear here, and why having a time block helps you. It allows you to formulate when is your best time. If you have a job, believe me, guys. Remember, I told you guys recently that I've only not been working for someone else for 2 years, not even a full 2 years, like 19 months. So for up until 19 months ago, I have been working full time for an employer, but I had time blocks. So for my lunch, so for that whole hour that I took for my lunch every day, whether I took it at my desk or took it in my car, I utilized 15 minutes of it to meditate, to recenter myself. Some people use the half an hour lunch that they have to eat, to talk to their friends, to talk on the phone. I did not. Because I was understanding how to set myself up for success. So time spent planning is energy saving executing. So if I utilize that time to think and plan, I can utilize that to boost other things that I'm doing. Because sometimes when you're using your energy, the more of your energy that you use, that's more expounded. So the less energy you have, the less energy you have to do things. So you have to find a way to pour energy into you by giving those things to other people and taking them other ways, doing other avenues, and figuring out how, okay, yes, I'm at work for 8 to 10 to 12 hours a day, but what part of my work could I get assistance with? What part of the work was all on my plate that I had to get done? And if all of it I have to do, what parts of it can I do first, second, third, fourth? When I organize those tasks, it makes it a lot simpler to knock them out. So we got in the chat. Hold on, we got in the chat. This ain't your therapist's safe space. It's a blueprint to out-earn your entire bloodline. June 15th. And don't show up looking cute and clueless. Come ready to rewrite your tax bracket. Love that. Love that. Hey guys, I'm gonna tell you, these comments are things I did not give my graphic designer, and he is also my mentee. So these are things that he is getting from the conversations that we're having. As I said, a lot of our work is reciprocity. I give him I work with him as a coach, and some of those things that he does for me is not as expensive as it is for other people, which is great because I can give it. So, and even though it sounds like that's free, it's not. My time is not free. I charge for my time. I have 25 years of knowledge that will save someone else an issue in their current. So 25 years of things that I've done make it very easy for me to remind you of the things that you want to do and give you a roadmap to get there. So I want to say this to people who are struggling in situations. There are many coaches out there. So I'm not saying this for me as a coach. If you are struggling, talk to someone who knows how to do what you're trying to do or has done it. Because when you do that, then it gives you an opportunity to grow quicker. There's still some mistakes that you're going to have, but you're going to stumble less with someone able to help support you. I have a coach myself. I talk to my coach for hours on end. So we got Jesse Parks checking in. Thank you, sir, for joining me. If you guys have not heard his music, I want to say he is going to be, he's going to be performing. I want to make sure I got it right, Jesse. In Dalton and Italian Fiesta, they're doing a tribute to Jesse Parks. He has a song called Log Off. I'm going to tell you guys it's phenomenal. It resonates with taking an unplug from social media and not allowing these 90-second clips to run your life. I've listened to the song probably 20, 30 times. I've downloaded it and everything because that is how you support someone. When you like something, you show up. And I believe in showing up. So I appreciate that song, Jesse, because it is awesome. I've seen him perform. We've talked. We've discussed. His performances are superb. He plays the guitar, and it's a heavenly scented. It's a heavenly sound. Awesome performance. He gave their address. So if you guys are looking at it, so it's going to be on 154th and Cottage Grove in the Italian Fiesta, the best pizza in Chicago. You guys argue me down. I don't care what side of the city you're from. Italian Fiesta is the best pizza in Chicago. When I moved out of Chicago, I used to drive 2 hours into Chicago to get me some pizza. When I lived out of town, I would have my friend send it to me when I was in Atlanta. She would send me the pizza in FedEx boxes. This is a long, long time ago, guys. This is when we weren't even worried about salmonella and all that stuff. She would put me a box, so she would put me pizza in aluminum foil in a plastic bag and ship it to me overnight in FedEx. That was the most expensive pizza I had. But the pizza guys, don't get upset with me if you're listening from Atlanta. When I was in Atlanta, it was not any pizza that even mildly compared. It was some of the lousiest pizza I had in comparison. However, I would have her ship it to me. That's how good the pizza was to me. But Jesse's going to be there on Saturday, and I want you guys to show up, show out, make sure that you support, and you're not only supporting, you're supporting great music, you're supporting great performers. I've seen Jesse be the backup for many of the artists here in the Chicagoland area, and for him to be honored in this way, it is awesome to hear. So I'm gonna try to make sure that I'm out there, but I do have some family matters to take care of. Thank you as well, sir. So we're gonna let it sit in where we were talking about the time spent planning is energy saving, executing. It allows you to execute a plan. If you get people in your circle that can help you grow, that is what you're looking to do. If you are looking to grow your business in any shape, form, or fashion, the only way to grow it and grow it successfully is to make sure that you're working in your circle of genius. That's how you fire up. How you get burned out is doing the 20 tasks. You can say, and I've heard many people say what I'm going to say next, I do it better than that anybody else could. I want you to know it. I'm going to be the first to tell you. Remember, I speak candidly here on Wake Up CEO. There is someone who does what you think you do good way better. Find that person. The thing that you do the best, do it. If your business is like, I'm an author. So, I do leadership coaching and development. Part of that is to provide tools to help for success. The reason I wrote the books. So my circle of genius is that I can speak to steps and techniques on how to grow. That's what's in the books. Different from different vantage points, but that's what's in the books. It tells how I got there. How Forged in Fire talks about my mindset. It talks about the life that I went through and how I got through it to be able to have the conversations with you today. I put that in that book so we can understand that we all have gone through something. And on the other end of something is the opportunity to strive and thrive. So that's what we talk about on Wake Up CEO. So the clarity piece, when we're clear that we don't want to be burned out. So clear is we don't want to be burned out. And to not be burned out, we have to make sure we set up some structure, set some restrictions, set some boundaries. And the first boundary we have to set with ourselves, and we got to set a boundary with the music. The music wants to do it anyway to come on. We give it a second. We're gonna get to do it anyway. And procrastination isn't laziness. It's poor boundaries. When you are procrastinating, you're not overload, you're over accommodating. I made a post today. I say my piece is tied up into what I say yes and no to. If you are overloaded, you're usually overloaded because you're saying yes to too many things and not picking what you're saying yes to. You have a choice, CEOs. So we got Cherie Sloan. She chimed in. She said, I love Jesse Parks. He's the best. I agree with that. But at the end of the day, when you are overloaded, and that is what leads to burnout, when you're over accommodating. So you have to be clear on what you're saying yes to and why you're saying yes. And does it move you forward towards where you're trying to be, or does it put you steps backwards? Like I was talking about in the beginning, I don't say yes to the cover and I start creating the cover. I don't say yes to the flyer. I didn't create the flyer. I didn't create the cover. I approved the cover and I approved the flyer. That's what I did. That was my circle of genius. I approved it. But my circle of genius was to come up with the idea that I need a book cover for Forged in Fire. So I guarantee you the money I spend on my graphic designer designing this is so much more worth it than the time I spend messing around with Canva trying to get this. Doesn't it look good, guys? Doesn't that book cover look good? I didn't do none of that. That's when you're working in your circle of genius and you're working about being fired up and not burned out. So we're going to let Erica Mason go ahead and chime in. So she decided she wanted to start early. And no matter what you're doing and what you think you want to do, get to doing it. And this is Do It Anyway by Erica Mason.
You just got to stop caring about like what everybody else think and just live your life, you know? Look, if you ain't failed a couple times, you ain't ready for this. I don't crumble under pressure, I go heavy with this. Driving straight to the hole, I don't need no assist. If all I got is one shot, you know I ain't gonna miss. I never take a hater serious, I'm petty with this. Never been the type to fall down, shadow the fence. And yeah, I might lose it all, I get it right back quick. I'm like a walking casino, cause I'ma take that risk. I ain't scared of nothing but the old version of me. I'm fired up, boy, I love the cold version of me. I love the way I took the pain and now it's working for me. I'm coming back for everything that was taken from me. And what you thought this was, I'm like the little engine that could. They love my drive, they just wanna know what's under the hood. I wish you would try to stop me, you gon' get what you deserve. I'll show you how to take it from the bottom to the first. Yeah. I know they try to say you can't, but do it anyway. Ain't got no money in the bank, do it anyway. I know you thought a couple times, but that's alright. Don't care what people think, do it anyway. I know they try to say you can't, do it anyway. Ain't got no money in the bank, do it anyway. I know you thought a couple times, but that's alright. Won't care what people think, do it anyway. When they said I couldn't, now they ask me how I do it. When you really know you got it, you ain't never gotta prove it. When you started from the bottom, you ain't never scared of losing. Everything all on God, that's the only way I do it. Boy, I been had the juice, with an extra side of sauce. Boy, I been had ragu. Baby, I got so much flavor in the pain, it's a seasoning. Promise I'ma get it, it don't matter the season. I do it any day, every day. I'ma get it in every way. No, they try to say that I can't, but I still do it anyway. I don't care what they're gonna say, I don't care what they're gonna think. When you out here chasing dreams, you don't care if people sleep. Make them up when I speak, it's just a matter of time. And everything for me is just a matter of mind. I thought audacity and confidence, a deadly combination. Yeah, I hear them talking, I just call it admiration. I know they try to say you can't, but do it anyway. Ain't got no money in the bank, do it anyway. I know you felt a couple times, so that's alright. I don't care what people think, do it anyway. I know they try to say you can't, do it anyway. Ain't got no money in the bank, do it anyway. I know you felt a couple times, so that's alright. I don't care what people think, do it anyway. Yeah. Ay, I do it anyway. Ay, ay, I do it anyway. Do it anyway. Do it anyway. No, they try to say you can't do it anyway. Ain't got no money in the bank, do it anyway. I know you felt a couple times, but that's alright. I don't care about what they say, do it anyway.
All right. Welcome back to Wake Up CEO on My Radio Chicago, Support District Radio. If you guys are ever need to be on the go, I want you guys to go to supportdistrictradio.com /stations/Chicago and go ahead and take us on the go. Cause I know sometimes you cannot watch it live. So you take us in your car, take us on your walk, just take us where you're going so you can be able to get the inspiration that comes from Wake Up CEO and my other fellow hosts that are on My Radio Chicago. I'm telling you guys, it is a real lineup. So I want to make sure that before we jump into our guests, that we speak a little bit about the empowerment piece. So we want to jump to the empowerment piece of, now that we're clear that to stop burnout and to be fired up, we want to be fired up, not burned out. We have to be clear with our time and utilize our time in the most effective way. Get assistance. You cannot be a one-man show. It doesn't work that way. If you're looking for success, you can make $100. You can make $500. solo, but you can make thousands, hundreds of thousands if you get a team to help you, because then you're not working in your business, you're working on your business, and on your business allows growth. So energy is a resource. Protect it like it's money. This is the empowerment piece. You wouldn't let folks play with your bank account. If you're not going to let somebody play with your bank account, so stop letting them play with your mental bandwidth. On Wake Up CEO, you know what that means. Let that sink in. If I'm not going to let you play with my money, why am I going to let you play with my time and play with my mental energy? So you want to treat your mental energy and your time the exact same way, like it's money, because it is. It costs you money. Money is energy. When we were talking about it, money is current. So for your energy to be expounded, then you get the current of the money. So the more energy you expound on things that are not making you revenue, that means you're wasting your energy. And we don't want to waste our energy. We want our energy to grow. And how you grow your energy is pouring your energy into people, into situations, into concepts, into growth of your business and growth of your career. If you're spending that time wasting it on things like Canva, the beautiful flyer, and that's not your business. If my business isn't to design, then I'm not doing the flyer. My business is to bring leadership, empowerment, and growth. That don't have nothing to do with that flyer. The flyer is just a representation of so people can be able to see a visual effect of what I'm bringing. That is a byproduct of the things that I'm doing. So I want to make sure that we think of those things. Learn to pause without guilt. It's okay to say reset, rest isn't weak. It's wise. So being rested, giving yourself an opportunity for growth is wise. Don't let anyone tell you that you're weak when you're tired. I wish someone would. I'm going to go take a nap. I'm going to tell you in a minute, I'm going to take a nap. A nap means I'm going to sleep. I'm going to sleep I don't take like 30 minutes, 40 minutes naps. I had a headache on Monday all day. I took like 2 or 3 naps so I could relax and rest. I couldn't even see good. However, I took the opportunity to relax and rest because the most important thing was to fuel me so I could be able to still grow. If I'm worn out, like on Monday, I couldn't do anything because I was tired and I had a headache. You say I had to press past it. If I pressed past it, what would have taken place? I'd have been tired, worn out, and still trying to do everything, which leads to burnout. So to fire up, I made sure that I set myself up for success, took the break, and I'm never weak. That's not a weakness. To me, that's a strength to know when to take a break. So we're going to jump into my guest. Oh, guys, you are in for a treat. Hold on. I got to make sure I bring her all the way in. So first, I want to first say that we have the pleasure today to bring someone who I think is more than dynamic. So first, I want to make sure that we play the video so you guys can see what I'm talking about. So this is the authors from the AAA LAC that will be in Chicago on 6/14, showcasing their stories. You guys ready? Let's get to it.
Keep pushing, stay moving. Sometimes it gets hard. You gon' get it right. Keep fighting. You'll make it. Through the struggle and the pain, just know you gon' shine. Keep your head up, they can't dim your light. Laughing at the struggle, cause I know it won't last. Every setback is a
Yes. That was just an intro to the people who are going to be in the room on the 14th. So they're going to be here one day before the hashtag poverty to six figures event. They are going to be showcasing their stories, showcasing their heart, and coming into the Chicago area to do so. So let's get started. The founder of AAA LAC, which stands for the African American Author Literacy Awareness Campaign, editor in chief of Aspiring Authors Magazine, author, poet, consultant, and with the utmost pleasure, I am honored to bring to Wake Up CEO the queen of collaboration herself, Queen Angela Thomas Smith. Come on in, Queen. Talk to us today.
Hey. How are you?
Yeah. Guys, I'm telling you, she's being very humble right now. That was a humble hello. Yeah, so Angela, please, that was just some of the things that Queen Angela does. And I'm not saying Queen Angela because she's the queen of collaborations, queen because she speaks this way. She brings information to the group. She makes us want to be better authors and better promoters of our works. Angela, please, let me stop talking. I can speak so much about this woman, but right now, tell us a lot about Angela Thomas Smith.
Wow. I'm just sitting here listening to your conversation earlier and all that you've been sharing. Great nuggets. Amazing show. I am so humbled to just be able to be in your presence for the wisdom and the knowledge that you drop. So I am affectionately known as the queen of collaboration across these social media platforms. I garnered that name about 6 or 7 years ago. Not sure who spoke it into my life, but it was something that was spoken to my life because not always have I been that one that have wanted to be collaborating and wanting to do all of the stuff that I am, that you guys see me doing around here. This journey hasn't been easy, but I'm grateful for the journey because it has taught me a lot. It has allowed me to be able to begin to create and leave a legacy by establishing myself as a CEO. And I'm grateful. So I thank you for allowing me to be here. But quickly, I am an author. I am a poet. I am a publishing consultant. I like to show people how they can publish a book instead of paying somebody to always publish it for you. I feel like that Proverbs that says, or something that somebody made up, however it is, but it says that if you teach a child how to fish, they'll never go hungry. So I believe that if I can give you that fish, which is that resource of how to publish, then you're always going to be able to throw that reel out there and bring something in because now you know how to do it. You have that skill of being a fisherman. So you can go out there and you can throw that reel out there. You can throw that line out there, whatever you have that you can draw something in. So that's what I do. I get passion. My passion is bringing people together. Somehow I get a niche for that. Don't know where it come from, but it fell upon me, and one of those gifts that was placed on the inside of me, and I am very grateful for it because I am able to bring people together and we're able to pool resources. And that's one thing that I take very seriously. I was just listening to you earlier and you were talking about not burning out. And I'm thinking like, okay, well, what are some things that you do that don't to keep yourself from burning out? Because oftentimes people think that you're over there doing it alone because a lot of time you are the face of what you do. But I do have some support and I'm grateful for the support that I have. And I have to give them a shout out today because not oftentimes they like to be recognized. My sister who is does a lot for me. Behind the scenes, she do a lot of my backdrops. She do a lot of my party favors when I do events. She do a lot of the events. A lot of the beautiful stuff that y'all see going on behind the scenes. That's all my sister. That's my sister, because Lord knows I don't know nothing about Amazon. I don't know how to do them orders. I don't know how to place the orders, like the backdrops that y'all see hanging up at these events. That's all my sister. Making travel arrangements, booking my itinerary, making sure that I get to and from. I am so grateful for one of the hosts, a part of the network, because she does all of that for me. I tell her I have to be this place, and she say, okay, I got you. And then she'll come back and she'll tell me, okay, you're going to be at this hotel. This shuttle's going to go here. This is going to go there. This is where you're going to be for here. This is how this is going to go. So I'm grateful that I do have, but have I always had that? I've not. And I was one of those people. I listened to Coach Rachel. I was one of those people that thought that, hey, can't nobody do it. If you can't do it, can't nobody do it. If you got to do it. No, that is so far from the truth, y'all. Y'all better listen to Coach Rachel, because it's so far from the truth. I'm telling you, there's 3 things that I really had to incorporate in my everyday, and that is setting boundaries. That is celebrating the small wins, because sometimes we have these goals, but in order to get to these big goals, we got to celebrate the small things and accomplish the small things so that we can get to those big things.
Yes,
so knowing that, we got there, and being able to say, okay, I did that. And then that can be success, because what a lot of people classify as success may not be what you classify as success. For me, and someone being shy and having to learn how to do some things again and learn some things again, like me getting up and being able to walk without that walker, or being able, that was success for me. To somebody that can walk, that wouldn't have been success for them. So now we got to realize and understand what you're trying, the goals that you're trying to reach, what does that look like? And how hard is that to reach? As long as you are able to measure it and put in actionable goals, and you're able to track it, trust me, you'll get there. You may not get there as quick as some people and as quick as you want to, but you'll get there if you set goals.
Absolutely. I totally believe in that. So I wanna make sure that we dive into. We have the AAA LAC Chasing Your Dreams book tour and expo that's coming here on June 15th. Let's dive into. Let's start here. One, what is the book tour? What is the Chasing Your Dreams book tour about? And since you guys, we're gonna start with that, and then I ask you the second question. We don't want to overload the questions. No overload. We're only firing up, not burning out over here.
Okay, so AALAC, the African American Author Literacy Awareness Campaign, started in 2016 to bring awareness to African American authors, those that had a African descent, because I was at that particular time doing the after school program and a summer program, and my kids were not engaging in reading and involving in reading, and I wanted to know why they wasn't. So they told me that, hey, these books do not relate. I cannot relate to these books. So I needed books. I needed books where my babies could relate and that my babies would read. So I took to Facebook. I took to these different social media sites trying to find books. And doing that, I come across a lot of authors and was wondering, why can't I find these books inside of the stores? Why can't I find these books inside of the library? And why I don't know these authors? So then that's where AALAC came about. That same year, October of that same year, I actually became a published author for the first time in an anthology, sharing my journey of losing my mom 12 days after my 16th birthday. Never thought that I would be an author. In doing that, I wanted an avenue, wanted something to be able to, get myself out there as an author. Did not have a lot of that where I'm from. I'm from a small place called Anderson, South Carolina. A lot of people never heard of that, but if you know Chadwick Boseman, we are neighbors. Not so neighbors, but we're from the same area. But place that people never heard of. So there was not a lot. We ranked number 50 in education, but yet we were number 1 in domestic violence. There was something wrong with that picture. So because I was involved in both areas, I wanted to do something about it. So I wanted to bring awareness to different things So I figured we would do events and hold different events to bring awareness to different topics, highlight authors, because within that, I learned that these authors that were bringing these books, they had different stories to tell. They had different things that needed to be highlighted. They had different things that needed to be shared. So we just incorporate all that in one. We do breakout sessions. We do different things because in becoming an author, I learned one thing, that I wasn't just an author anymore. I was an entrepreneur, because now it was a business. And we talk about branding. We talk about marketing. We talk about things to take you from thinking that you have to just be signing up to be a vendor at an event, to learning how you can garner 7 streams of income from a book. So a lot of people didn't know that. And I didn't know that at first when I first started out. Didn't know that you could have money coming in. And while you sleep, you could have money coming in, and to be a witness. And I thank God for this, because even on the other day, we were talking about having websites and having different things. A lot of people were talking about these different things. So we were talking about I'm bad with names, but it starts with a T. And it's an author website that you can use to create your own author website, and they kind of build your website for you and put everything there. You can put your books. Well, long story short, y'all, I created one. I launched it. Got a couple of views. That particular day, 8 people came to my site. They walked away. 4 people walked away with purchasing a book. So
Awesome.
if you don't have it out there, they don't know where to go, who to go, what to get. But if you make it available, they can go there and get it. Not only do I use that website to show my books, but I show my events. You know, we all have different things, and I watch people sit and you have a book. You should be developing a speaking platform. You should have some type of membership platform. You should have at least 7 different things that are branched out from having a book and you being an author.
Absolutely. So I love that you said that, but I want to. I mean, with that all being said, so you set up the platform. You assist authors. I am one of the authors, part of the AAA LAC 100 Authors Movement for 2025, and I can personally attest to there is a plethora of resources within that chat. But the book tour and expo, what made you decide to take it to that next level? And let's talk a little bit about the authors that are going to be in the tour in Chicago on June 14th.
So we needed an outlet to be able to share. I was in Little Anderson, South Carolina. Nobody was coming to Anderson. So I had to provide a space and something for people to come together. So I created the Chasing Your Dream book tour because I had a lot of people that followed and supported the things that I was doing on social media. So I said, well, let's start coming together and we can highlight these authors at these various events. They can come, they can set up their stuff. We can even utilize some of them as speakers because they have stories. We can utilize what we have right here. So we take people that are a part of the movement and those that are coming to Chicago. I have Shaneria Osborne, who is one of my prayer besties. This is her first time as a published solo author. She has collaborated with me for over the last 5 years in anthologies, and she decided this year that she was going to launch her own book. So she's going to be there. We have a couple young ladies I also have a podcast network, but they are also part of the podcast, but they are also co-authors of a book together, and they are coming to share their book at this event because they are just looking for opportunities to expand their brand, looking for opportunities to network, to grow, and to go places where they normally would have been because they didn't know nobody there. So we are utilizing connections. We're utilizing the opportunity to collaborate. We're utilizing the opportunity to create a legacy and to build communities, because now we're meeting with authors that are here in the Chicago area. Grateful to have met Coach Rachel. I've met some more authors in that area. So we have one author that's coming out. Her daughter is 2 years old. And she's currently on the heart transplant list. She's going to be in the building. She's also a poet. So we're going to have a lot of different people with different stories that are going to come out and share just a little bit about their brand. And that's what it's all about, us being able to come together, pull on each other resources and each other energies, and be able to help take each other to the next level, because you never know what may be working for me that may work for you. Also, can grab some of these nuggets in supporting Coach Rachel. You know, we're coming, we want to support a lot of the authors that's a part of the movement. So we turn it into a weekend. If you got something going on, we supporting. So when I found out Coach Rachel was doing this event, was Chicago a part of the tour originally? No, it wasn't. But when I found out that she was doing something, and she came all the way to Atlanta to support something that I was doing at the drop of a dime, I said, okay, I'm going up. I'm going to support her, and we're going to give back to the community, and we're going to give those authors and those that are in that area an opportunity to come out and be a part. And those that want to travel up with me, they also have the opportunity to travel up. So that's what we're doing. And that's what I normally do. And I think in 2017, we started out, I think we may have done 8 cities, and then the pandemic hit. I was hospitalized first for almost 21 days, and then the pandemic hit. So it just put a lot back. It set a lot back, but it did not stop me from doing the things that I did. When it looked like hindrance come and setbacks come, it looked like it just becomes stepping stones, because in doing that, I was able to launch the magazine, 5 years, celebrating 5 years. I was also able to become a podcaster. I actually started out doing the internet radio out of Philadelphia with a radio station called Sador Radio. Ended up over on the WBNN that I am on now. Just celebrated 5 years last month. I just celebrated my 5th year. Got inducted into the International Internet Radio Hall of Fame for broadcasting, and I am the host of the year.
Don't be trying to just go past that. Hold on. Did you just try to zoom past that? We celebrate things on Wake Up CEO. We celebrate those moments on Wake Up CEO. So take that second and celebrate, and that. So that let's take that all the way in. So what was that all about? You celebrated that. We got to celebrate those things first and foremost. So got to celebrate that. All right. We got to take a moment to celebrate that. She just can't just let that slide past. Congratulations. I wanted to make sure I say it. Congratulations. And all of the work that you do is well appreciated. Not only from myself, I appreciate the support, especially from the other authors as well as yourself. Dr. Carolyn Stevens, who is my mentor. As I tell people, if your coach doesn't have a coach, you got the wrong coach, because somebody has to be pouring into you so you can better pour into others as well. I am big on working together, collaboration, which is why when Angela said she was having something in Atlanta, I said when, and immediately said I'll be there. I think it was all in the same text. I'll be there, because at the end of the day, you support people who are supporting you. You have to know where to put your resources. And you have to know where your energy grows. I feel my energy grows talking to Angela. My energy grows when I went to that event. I went to that event for a couple of reasons. Her and I spoke on the sidelines about that. I had to have a coaching moment because that's just how I am, and found out that she had a support system. I had to make sure of that, because Angela, I'm telling you, I'm getting 20 emails a day. I'm seeing 2 or 3 podcasts a day, and I see so many pieces of supportive information that are out there. So I wanted to make sure that I asked her a question, because sometimes there are strong people out there that people don't check on. And to me, When I say I'm showing up every time. So when I walked in there and gave her a hug, the first thing I asked her was she all right? And then we talked a little bit further after that, because that was important to me to know. And if I could offer any kind of assistance, and I told her this in person, and I said, any kind of assistance, let me know. Because that is that's how you show up for people. When you think I have skill sets that are unique to me, that I can offer to help. I'm very resourceful. I like to connect. I like to hang. I like to find out what's going on, and I like to help people grow. And anything I can offer to do that, I'm doing it, hands down. And that's what I see from the queen of collaboration. It's always a resource. It's always a moment. It's always an opportunity. Because open up those doors for opportunity is what she's doing for the authors that are coming to Chicago. So I know we were locking down a new place, because the place that we both had, they had a violation that end up where we had to cancel our reservations there. So I found a new place and sent some information your way. I'm hoping that information helped. I'm gonna have to tap in and find out and give her some more. We will collaborate on that. So either way, they will be here on the 14th. They all will have books. Come grab a book. Come grab some knowledge. Just come grab some insight on how you as an author can grow and how you can support other authors that are pouring their information into a book to help someone else find success, find a laugh, find a journey, find whatever in those pages. Reading is a lost art that we need to get back to, because watching TV and stuff, I'm telling you, it's too much stuff on there that corrodes your brain more so than enhances it. That's just my thoughts. But so before we let you go, so tell me finally, what else you got? What else is next? Where else is the tour going to be next, so people can lock in? And how can they lock in with Queen Angela?
So if you want to connect with me and stay connected with me, you always can check me out on Linktree, Queen of Collaboration. It has all my links. Again, that is Linktree / Queen of Collaborations. And that's with an S. And it has everything. So you can books, everything where you can watch me, whatever. As far as the Chasing Your Dream book tour, we are headed to Chicago. June 14th, 15th to help celebrate Coach Rachel. Then July 5th, we're going to be in Spartanburg, South Carolina. We are going to be helping one of our fellow authors, a part of the 100 Author Movement, Travita Harrison. She's going to be doing a book release. This young lady has about 10, 12 books out, never done a book release, but this book is special. It is a book that she is releasing in honor of her mom's 66th birthday. I had the pleasure of meeting her mom. Sad that I met her during her transition period, but I had the privilege of meeting her, making her an honorary member of the podcast. So she's an honorary host on the podcast. We're going to be in Spartanburg. Y'all, we're headed also to New York in August. We're going to be there from the 29th through the 31st. Not saying we're going to be doing all things AALAC, but we're going to be in the building. The main event is going to be on the 30th, August the 30th, that Saturday from 12 to 5, the Chasing Your Dream book tour and expo. We're actually going to have the poet laureate for the Bronx. She's going to be out there celebrating with us. Y'all, she's going to be ending her tenure as the poet laureate. So she's going to be celebrating that with us. We're going to have a couple of more little things for you guys, but definitely want you guys to get attached, come out, support, be a part of that. And y'all, we're going to end this year in San Antonio, Texas. We're going to have a big event for all those that have supported AALAC, the Chasing Your Dream book tour throughout 2025. We're going to be celebrating all of the authors a part of the 100 Author Movement. Going to be making an announcement of all those that are being inducted into the who's of Black and Brown creative and literary powerhouses by Aspiring Authors Magazine, something that we decided that we needed. because there are a lot of individuals that are definitely powerhouses in what they're doing, and they're not getting the recognition that they deserve. And we want to make sure that those that come in our presence, that they are being recognized the way that they should be recognized. So y'all stick around and stay close to the 100 Authors Movement. Anything Queen of Collaborations, y'all can check me out. I'm telling you, if you go over to Google, you probably can Google Queen of Collaboration, Angela Thomas Smith, and probably all my stuff gonna pop up on there, y'all. Pictures of me.
Absolutely does. Absolutely does. If you say Queen of Collaborations, you don't even have to put her whole name in there. She's going to pop up, and everything about her is going to pop up. So I wanted to thank you, Angela, for coming on Wake Up CEO today to talk about everything that a collaborator does. And as you guys heard, she's an editor. I want you guys to make sure that you go on Facebook and go to her link tree and see everything that she actually is doing. Take an opportunity to make sure that you guys are in the room on 6/14 as well as 6/15. So that means the weekend of June 14th and June 15th, you have an ability to not only meet Queen Angela and the authors who are going to be here, but also come and get some gems. As I said, we're going to be talking about how to grow wealth, how to grow the mindset needed to establish and grow your wealth. So be in the building on both days. Once again, Angela, I thank you guys. Thank you for joining me today. And I cannot wait to see you in person on the 14th. So I want everybody to thank Angela, and got people who got their tickets. So if you guys are watching, for all the people out there, do not forget to go get your tickets. Get your ticket. You've missed the early bird special. I apologize about that, but get your ticket. Get your ticket. Hey, I said this. People who call me on the phone, I want to say it, guys. Calling me will not get your ticket. Go to the link. Get your ticket. Remember, how do I keep being fired up and not burned out? I utilize systems and utilize my team to help. I don't take orders for the tickets. You go to www.sayiampossible.com to get a ticket, and you will have a ticket to the event. If for VIPs are anyone who purchased Forged in Fire from Ashes to Empowerment. You are a VIP. You have a discounted ticket. Go to your emails. You got a discount code. Utilize the code to get, because you have free access to the actual event. You're just buying the book, hashtag Poverty to Six Figures. You are free for the event. So VIP access, get in the room. People who are looking for growth, get in the room. Want to meet some great people, collaborate and grow your brand as an author, be in the room. Queen of Collaboration will be there. I will be there. Be in the room. Thank you again for joining. So I'll see you soon. Well, do you have any last words for us, Queen Angela?
Thank you guys for having me, and I will see you guys in the Chi-Town.
Thank you. All right. That was a pleasure. So I want you guys to take an opportunity and taking all that great information from Queen Angela. We're going to go ahead to our next song, and we have Logged Off by Jesse Parks.
Let the internet pressure you. Things ain't always what they seem. Compare your online, offline. Sometimes I work on beats and I just don't really be feeling it. I practice my guitar a lot and I ain't always killing it. Music used to be the place where I release my pain, but I made a bunch of beats that I ain't like just to get paid. Compare myself to people who already made it in this game. Made myself depressed cause artists been made it by my age. As far as social media, I have my tired days. I just want to be alone, don't feel like clicking like today. How would you like it if you expressed your blues? Then people disregard it just to go and count the views. Like, yeah, he was dope, but only 30 people seen it. Is this what I'm reduced to? It's my pain, I really made it. You know what? I think I'm gonna cancel myself. I was way more focused. Facebook does not help. As far as I'm concerned, IG means instant gratification. I'm taking back my attention to regain my patience. I had to sign out so I can focus. I had to sign out so I can focus. I had to sign out so I can focus. There's a war for attention, you got to focus. I had to sign out so I can focus. I had to sign out so I can focus. To sign out so I can focus. There's a war for attention, you got to focus. Social media can either promote you or expose you. Made some dumb mistakes by telling strangers what I'm going through. I overshare my opinions and my intimate thoughts. People will take it and make it a status or downright put it in their bars. I take a 5-minute scroll, finish 2 hours later. This gotta be the best drug technology ever gave us. People that you wasn't thinking about turn into haters. I watched insecure girlfriends become investigators. I know offline loafers, but they online posers. Jesus, take the wheel before I run somebody over. There's nothing you can tell me. It's getting pretty scary. I'm at the gym the other day. This chick did like 3 sets of selfies. I had to sign out so I could focus. I had to sign out so I could focus. I had to sign out so I could focus. There's a war for attention. You got to focus. I had to sign out so I could focus. I had to sign out so I could focus. I had to sign out so I could focus. There's a war for attention. You got to focus. Sign out so I can focus. I had to sign out so I can focus. I had to sign out so I can focus. There's a war for attention. You got to focus. Yeah, I had to sign out. Think about what your life was like before social media. Before you started comparing yourself to everybody else. Don't fall for it. For attention, you got to focus. Don't compare your behind the scenes to someone else's highlight reel. Because you don't always see what's going on offline.
All right. We are back. This is Wake Up CEO on My Radio Chicago. You guys support District Radio, where we already know it is more than radio. We just heard some information that it shows is more than radio. It's about collaborating. It's about having support systems and not being burned out. We are looking to fire up on Wake Up CEO. And we're going to dive in to the old piece of the puzzle that we were talking about from the first segment. We were talking about how to be clear in how to be fired up and to get rid of the things that might be burning you out. Empowered to do the things that are necessary for that growth. Now we're going to jump into the ownership piece, because energy is a resource protected. Like we talked about protecting it like it's money. So to own it, you have to be able to anticipate and adapt quickly. Don't fear change. Forecast it. Know that things are going to happen. When you prepare yourself for the things that are happen or can happen, or that something's going to hit you, that something's going to come your way, you're not sideswiped by those things. We had some great comments in here, guys. So I want to go back a little bit and just talk a little bit about those comments that we had during the time. And my apologies that we couldn't get to all those comments. Had a short period of time with the Queen of Collaboration. Want to make sure she got out there. So generational wealth. So we had Bruce with generational wealth starts with unlearning generational broke habits. You got to get rid of the things that have broken you in the past. So we had someone say needed this today. So love that. I don't want to Shineen is what I believe the name is. So if I started the name, my apologies. You can definitely give me a pronunciation for it. Then we had Dr. Stevens chime in. That is my mentor. And then we had Keisha chime in saying hello to family. We had hello CEOs. Amen. And we definitely must live in the moment. We had wise counsel, please and thank you. We also had that website that the Queen of Collaboration was talking about, was put up as well. So go to my Facebook page at Rachel L. Gary and look at the links that are in the chat, where if you're looking for that link for where she was talking about to get your author profile updated, utilize all tools. Tools help you grow. Hard work, working hard does not mean that you're successful. Working smarter allows you to find success. So then we had other people that chimed in, and I think it's called Tutilia.com. But as I say, go to my chat and go to the chat for this video, for this show, and you'll see those notes are in there. If you wanted to hook up with the Queen of Collaboration, her link is also in there. So go ahead and you can check that out. And you have generation. So we also had Generation curses easily start with family traditions. Wrote on an episode to talk about it. So, hey guys, I talk about this often, that some of the things that we were taught and the things that we learned are things that have us still stuck. So to get unstuck, we have to unlearn some of those habits. And it wasn't that our parents or our loved ones were trying to sabotage us. They only can teach you what they know. One more time. They only could teach you what they know. So as you learn more, you do. When you know better, you do better. So that's why I had these conversations and on Wake Up CEO, just to remind you of something new or something that might have slipped through the cracks that can possibly give you a better understanding and have some growth in your circle. And then we had Jesse Parks was on here. Then we had Shy Bliss, he chimed in as well. Then we had a couple other comments that were in there. So do not forget to, as I told you guys, morning jump off with Shy Bliss. That's where I was at earlier. I was on there having a conversation in the chat. At the end of the day, guys, growth is inevitable as long as we work together and not work against. You get burned out when you work against the current. You know how when you swim, if you don't swim, or you know someone that does swim, most people don't swim nowadays. But when you swim, when you're in the current, you're fighting the current. You're fighting against the current. You're still trying to go, and you're fighting against the current. That tires you out. So you want to make sure that you're not fighting against the current, that you are moving with the wave. When you move with the wave, you sail in. That's why I was saying that you guys get a coach, get you a mentor, get you someone who can pour into you and help you to learn how to coast against with the wave and not fight against the current. So we're going to learn. So we were talking about to let go of the old things. We want to let go of the things that have stopped us from moving forward. We want to get rid of the things from our past that have kept us from being who we want to be in the future. Our future self is only looking for us to be who we say we are. One more time. Our future self is looking for us to show up as the person that we say we are. So if you say that you're successful, show up as success. So to be able to show up as success, you can't be burned out. The only way to do this is if you're fired up. And being fired up means you are clear in what you're doing. You're getting people to help you through those things. You're not a one-man show. There is no one-man band that's successful. Nobody does it alone. Nobody. I don't care who ever told you the story that you got to work 16 hours a day, 7 days a week, and that's where your success comes from. That is where burnout lies. Burnout lies. As my mentee says, real lies lie. Real lies, the real lies. So you see what I'm saying? Those are real lies. You don't need 16 hours of work. You need 2 hours of development of your mindset. You need an hour of time to develop your plan. You need time to develop a plan of action. If you're not giving yourself an opportunity to think, to relax, to give your brain an opportunity to rest, it doesn't allow you to find success. You're constantly chasing success as opposed to allowing success to come your way. That's the difference. Chasing it and allowing it to flow. Because when you're allowing it to flow, you're no longer chasing. You're going with it. So that's what we're talking about here. We're only discussing things that I'm just reminding you that if you out there hustling 16 hours a day, I'm telling you, you tired. And you're so close to burnout, your temper is short. Someone has said something to you, now you upset, and it was something very minor, because you don't have the mental bandwidth to take a second, to breathe, to understand, to develop, because you're always running. We can't run on all cylinders all the time. It's not healthy. It's not productive, and it allows you to be burned out and not be fired up. So what we doing to be fired up? Let's talk about what we're doing to be fired up. So to be fired up, start your day with direction, not distractions. So as I said in the beginning, I start my day with I have a beginning part of my day before I start my block of time from 6 to 9. I wake up at 4:30 in the morning. So from 4:30 to to 6 o'clock, I'm utilizing that time to meditate, to have my moment of gratitude, to be grateful for breath, to give myself a time to reset. And then I start my day, my block of time in my circle of genius. So you want to start with silence, strategy, structure. Because when we're playing this game, this game of life, which is really a game of chess, not checkers. So to play chess, you have to have a strategy. The only way you have a strategy is you give yourself an opportunity to have a strategy. So use your time as a tool, not a trap. Stop saying I don't have time. You remember, guys, I'm big on how we speak to ourselves. How we speak to ourselves matters. So we're not going to say I don't have time. Say it's not a priority. And if that hurts, adjust accordingly. If you say you don't have time for something that you know is going to help you find success, that means you are not prioritizing your life towards your success. One more time. Take that second. And I know it hurts. Because if you said no to an opportunity yesterday, because you don't have time for the opportunity that's going to grow you successfully, that means you're doing things in your life that are not for your growth. Drop them. It's an easy way to drop them, and it's a hard way to drop them. But easily is just to say you don't have time for those things, and put in your time frame things that are allowing you to propel forward, not holding you down. Control your time. No one runs your life but you. Own that. No one is running your life but you. Not the government, not your circumstances, not your life, not your finances. You run your life because you run how you think about any of those things that I spoke about previously. If you're looking for growth, you can grow. If you're looking for prosperity, you can prosper. If you're looking for more money, a better job, a bigger house, bigger cars, all those things, you can have them. You have to say yes to you. Say yes to the priorities that move you towards it, and say no to the things that push you further from what you want. I'm just reminding you of what you want. So, and then you have to map out your day to propel and not shrink you. Successful people don't work to be seen. They work to be effective. There's a difference between being efficient and effective. And I always am working on efficiency. That's what I used to. I always used to be working on efficiency. And when I learned that I wasn't effective being efficient, and let me explain what I was putting so much stuff into my day that I wasn't effective. That's where the burnout came from, because I had 20 tasks. I had a checklist and had the to-dos. My to-dos were extremely long. Right now, if I show you guys my phone, my to-do list is like I got 4 to-dos. And those 4 to-dos have to do with my upcoming event, having a conversation with my team about the upcoming event, making sure that the person who's helping me with promotion, which you guys saw earlier, is actually helping me, and all of those things. Those are check-ins. I didn't say I was doing any of that. Checking in. I'm checking in with the person who's creating my graphics. I'm checking in with the person who's helping me with the decorations. I'm checking in with the person who's helping me with the promotion. Checking in is not doing the work. Take that moment and reflect on it. So that is how you map out your day to propel you forward. Your map is your momentum. Use it to go further with less stress. If you map out your day properly, I guarantee what I'm speaking of right now. If you map out your day, and I'm not saying you have to schedule every moment, but if you give yourself blocks of time to do this and this. So let's say we're going to say 8-hour job, we're going to say 9 to 10 hours, because you have to travel there and back. You say you want to grow and you're looking for growth. Now you have to travel there and back. So let's say there you listen to the radio and back you listen to a podcast. that deals with the subject of what you're trying to grow into. So as you heard me say, we just shifted. You're giving priority to what you believe is important. Your growth is if your growth is important to you, then you can switch one or the other, or half an hour each. If you have a commute, an hour there and an hour back, half an hour of that hour, so half that time you listen to the radio, and the other half of the time you listen to a podcast. Then on the way back, you do the same thing. I'm not saying take away your pleasures. What I'm saying is that you prioritize your priority. You. That's owning it. So when you do those things, that allows you to find that success. You're clear on where you want to go. You're empowered that you got it. You can do it. You get the steps and you get to moving, and you own that you got it, that you're going to move forward. You're going to own the destination. Because you can't own the things along the way. Just like GPS, you can't say about the roadblocks. You can't say the detours, but you know where you're going. When you get in your car, you know that you're going to here. If you're going here, the only way to go there's many avenues, many roads, many turns, but where you're going doesn't change. But if you don't know where you're going, you're just aimlessly going around, putting things on your plate, filling your plate up, being and doing busy work, but not moving to where you want to be successfully. So this is how you get rid of the burnout and you get fired up. You fire up by being clear, empowered, and owning your direction as a CEO. So we're going to jump into, you guys know my favorite part. This is my favorite part of the whole show. Y'all know this. It is now time for the leadership 3-point play that is powered by Say I'm Possible Academy. And we're going to talk about how to create a map that bridges the gap without burnout. Play 1. Design your day around your energy zones. Do your hardest task when you're at your peak. Don't let the most productive part of your day go to emails and noise. Play 2. Set boundaries that guard your greatness. You can't lead when you're constantly leaking energy. Say no with confidence. No is a whole sentence. Your peace is part of your productivity. Play 3. Measure success by progress, not pressure. Don't let unrealistic, timeless kill real results. Track your moves, the needle, and celebrate as you go. That was the leadership 3-point play that was powered by Say I'm Possible Academy. And we got to let another song in because we got to make sure that we stay focused on our growth. So I want to let that sink in before I give my final thoughts of the day. And we got God Energy coming up next.
Love is the language and the frequency that continues to grow and expand all consciousness. Peace.
Affirmations daily, you should join it. Love is the fire and we own it. The universe been talking to the chosen. The universe been talking to the chosen. God energy. Everything inside of me, feel the frequency. God energy. Everything inside of me, feel the frequency.
You amazing, you should say it, you so powerful. You gotta.
Face down, boss up, solid crown, that's what's up. Face down, boss up, solid crown, that's what's up. 2020 is the lighthouse for my next 20 plus years. I see deuces to so much. I'm creating a personal growth plan. I'm a student of my life, knowing I don't know anything at all. I learn again, and then learn some more. Letting go of the worlds I was attached to is no longer surreal. It was all meant to happen. It was so perfectly orchestrated together, like a dance routine to the rhythm of my shiny growth. Letting go is a whole college, a whole PhD. I release, I learn, I hold on to the lesson, and it starts all over again. I take this quiet time, this alone time, this solitude to surrender to this surgery and strategy. I lay down my strained efforts to sit back for a necessary time to take it down, bossed up, solid crown, that's what's up. Face down, bossed up, solid crown, that's what's up. Face down, bossed up, solid crown, that's what's up. Yeah, my number one priority is my health. Nutrition is not for body goals, it's for spiritual activation and snatching my waist low key. I'm learning to handle massive blessings with mature care. I celebrate what's not being posted. My energy is my validation. I'm preparing myself for what my decisions pray for and what is meant for me. Am I making today's choices?
Do you feel stuck? Like your dreams are just out of reach? It's time to change that narrative. Use life's setbacks to fuel the fire within. I'll walk you through the exact steps I took to move from $7 an hour to multiple six-figure success. The roadmap includes practical strategies, real-world mindset shifts, and the habits that help me rise against the odds. Welcome to Hashtag Poverty to Six Figures, a journey that goes beyond just financial success. This is about breaking free from the cycle and claiming your desires, transforming your life, unlocking your potential, and finally living the life you deserve. Get your copy today. Start your journey towards financial freedom. Are you ready?
6 figures couldn't change my mind.
I get still, face down, to hear the answer in my heart today. I know silence is a part of the process of growth. Just like the roots to any tree, it deepens and grows in the unseen dark places to ground firmly for the bloom. I am focused, tapped in to another reality that can't be explained, but only felt. I am the silence and the noise of many rooms because my boss up is facing what truly blooms. One day I dream, one day my dream is my reality. I discover goals that have real joy juice for me. My peace gives me real bounce. I will protect it at all costs. I'm bossing up. I'm up.
All right. We are back. This is Wake Up CEO on My Radio Chicago, Support District Radio, where we already know, guys, it is more than radio. So I want to make sure that I take the opportunity to give my final thoughts of the day. And this is before I sign out. I want to make sure you guys stay locked in to Mr. At the Top on the Financial Power Hour that comes on right after me. You want to stay locked in right here on My Radio Chicago. So if you guys want to take it on the go, you want to go to supportdistrictradio.com/stations/Chicago and make sure you get that link. Take us on the go so you can find out more information. You can keep locked into what's going on right here in the Chicagoland area and beyond. So these are my final thoughts for today's show. Hustle doesn't have to hurt. You deserve to build with joy and not just exhaustion. So fire up with clarity, discipline, and design, and burn bright without burning out. And CEOs, you know what I want to say at the very end of every show. I want you guys to stay up, out, and moving to the greatness we all know lies within who? You CEOs. See you next week right here on Wake Up CEO at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time on My Radio Chicago, Support District Radio. And we're going to let the songs play out. Thank you guys again. See you guys next week.
funky beat. Sun is shining, Rachel brings the heat. Wake up CEO, we're on repeat. Chicago, Sun Up City on the go. Rachel L. Gary on the radio. Tune in quick, hear the power flow. Wake up CEO, it's your daily show. Wake up, start the day with CEO. Rachel's got the vibe, that's the real deal. CEO, it's time to feel the thrill. Morning grind, press play and chill. From the Windy City, bringing major vibes. Rachel on the mic, keeping lives revived.
Hey there, it's your host, Rachel L. Gary from Wake Up CEO. Join me June 15th, right here in Chicago, for my book launch immersive event. Hashtag poverty to six figures, breaking the chains to gain. Get your tickets today at sayiampossible.com. See you there.
Oh, rise and sway. Wake up, start the day with zeal. Rachel's got the vibe, that's the real deal. CEO, it's time to feel the thrill. Morning grind, press play and chill. Wake up, start the day with zeal. Hey, Rachel's got the vibe, that's the real deal. CEO, it's time to feel the thrill. Morning grind, press play and chill.
This is Dr. Carolyn Stevens, the CEO of the BHC Media Group. And when you are looking for a strategy for self-leadership, get aligned with Wake Up CEO with host Rachel L. Gary every Wednesday from 3 to 5 p.m.
You know what time it is? Every Wednesday, 3 to 5, my Radio Chicago, Rachel L. Gary in the building. Wake up, CEO, let's go! Wake up, go Sam, set that tone. Wake up, every step you take, you claim that throne. Wake up, no more doubt, no time to stall. Wake up, boss up now, go get it on. Wake up, stay locked in, make it happen. Wake up, stay locked in. Wake up, stay locked in, make it happen. Wake up, stay locked in. Wake up, I ain't waiting, now I go and take it. Built this from the ground, no way they break it. Consistency, my secret, watch me make it. Got that boss talk, now I ain't faking no. Look, set the goal, now I'm grabbing the goal. And put in the work, now I'm taking control. The vision so clear, yeah, I already know. Every step I take, I'm ready to blow. Wake up, set that tone. Every step you take, you claim that throne. No more doubt.